Hold on one second. We about to get to the bottom of this, ladies and gentlemen. This don't make no sense whatsoever. Welcome to the Dark Waters channel, where we explore mysteries, figure out the truth, dive into politics, and anything else you want to know about. That's what we doing over here, baby. Let's go. Man, this battle is raging more and more and more, baby. This got to be the most interesting thing in politics right now, boy. This is very, very interesting. I'm telling you. Hold on, I need to close this door so y'all won't get this noise. But this got to be the most interesting thing I'm seeing in politics right now. This is crazy. When I tell you this is crazy, this is absolutely insane. There are people trying to take down one of the biggest Christian voices right now, which is Tucker Carlson, who just converted to Christianity, or just his faith was awakened in spiritual warfare. If you remember, I was on Alex Jones's show and I was telling Alex, I said, remember where Tucker had those scratches on his back? And I said that was his introduction into warfare. That was him going into war. That's what happens when you go into war. You get scratched, you get beat on, you get picked on. Crazy stuff happened to you. And then most people, they don't go from just normal to this level of warfare. This is crazy that's going on. Everybody targeting Tucker Carlson. But Tucker Carlson has a strong relationship with J.D. Vance. So targeting Tucker is targeting J.D. Vance, which targeting J.D. Vance is targeting Donald Trump. Targeting J.D. Vance is targeting the future president of the United States. So right now, one of the largest voices for the future president of the United States is being targeted right after Charlie Kirk was wizzacked, murdered in front of everybody. Can you read between the lines? Damn. This is crazy. You got News Nation. You got everybody coming out taking shots at Tucker. Both Megyn Kelly and Charlie Kirk's face calls distance themselves from Tucker Carlson. Wow.
The vice president is very close with somebody who has been attacking you quite relentlessly for a few years now, Tucker Carlson. Speaking of Nazi insignia, Carlson has repeatedly hosted a historian who engages in World War II revision that, in my opinion, aims to portray the Nazis in a less villainous light, shall we say. Charlie Kirk and Megyn Kelly both talk about feeling pressured to cut ties with Carlson. What's your take on the vice president's friendship with Tucker Carlson? Is it significant?
I mean, I'm not going to police friendships between people. I will say that, once again, I think that when people make what are clearly ugly arguments, or when they hide behind guests in order to make ugly arguments without ever asking a single difficult question, or when they continue to use their platforms in order to promote nonsense, then I do think that people of good heart could condemn that. And that has nothing to do with friendship. I think that, we all have friends with whom we disagree and who we believe hold bad views. But if we're in the public sphere and we're speaking on public policy all the time and on ideas, then I'm not sure why that should grant some sort of blanket immunity to the criticism of the ideas. I mean, again, there are people in my company with whom I disagree, and we publicly will have those disagreements and air them. And Batya, you and I disagree on a number of things, and I'm sure at some point you've criticized my ideas. I'm sure I've criticized yours, and we're friendly. I mean, I don't really see why these two things are mutually exclusive. I think that there is a bit of a Mott and Bailey game that's going on, where people will refuse to condemn bad arguments, ugly arguments, morally specious arguments. And then when you say you're refusing to condemn those bad, morally specious arguments, and you really should, just because you're willing to express your opinion on everything, why not that? And then they retreat to the Bailey, which is, well, actually, you're just saying I don't want to be friends with you. I can't be friends. You can be friends with whomever you want. No one's saying that you can't.
That's a whole bunch of fucking nothing. Pardon my language. All right. So the premise here is that Tucker Carlson had someone on who, quote unquote, had revisionist history of Nazis. So he held a conversation with somebody that talked about Nazis in a different light than what Ben Shapiro and whoever else that's Jewish dislikes. That's the whole premise of this conversation. So the premise is, Tucker, you talk to who I want you to talk to. Doesn't necessarily mean that Tucker agrees with the person. Tucker gave a voice to that person. You want to know why Tucker gave a voice to him? It's obvious, because the issue with censorship is you should be able to say what the hell you gonna say. That man, whoever had his belief, can hold his belief. Now, if he starts to act on his belief and he breaks the law, then that's a whole nother story. This is getting ready to blow up, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to blow up unlike anything you've ever seen before. And I'm predicting this blow up because the attack of Tucker Carlson, my computer trying to do something stupid. Hold on. My computer is doing something dumb. The attack of Tucker Carlson is an attack on J.D. Vance. So what you have right here is the woman from News Nation saying that, basically saying that J.D. Vance should disassociate himself from Tucker Carlson. I want you to understand something. If the Trump administration distances themselves from every content creator and influencer because those content influencers have an opinion about someone else or another nation, they will be utterly decimated and destroyed. You can't distance yourself because someone has an opinion. And I'm pretty sure they're smart enough to know this. So what's happening is this bottom down pressure to peel off people, to tear people away, to bring people in fear. And so now the right is turning against the right. This is extremely interesting, man. I mean, it's absolutely everything else that Ben Shapiro was saying with the big words and blah, 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 blah. Nobody cares. Now watch this. From a Christian perspective, here's our perspective. Tucker Carlson is your brother in the faith. Point blank, period. That's your brother. J.D. Vance is your brother in the faith. Donald Trump is your brother in the faith. Ben Shapiro ain't your brother in the faith. That's just the reality of it. So if there's an issue with the only person that's right out of all this, spiritually, because I'm pretty sure this girl on the left calls herself a Christian, is Shapiro, because he's defending his faith. Everybody else should be having a conversation with Tucker privately and say, hey, Tucker, man, you know, this is what's going on, blah, 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 and have a debate with Tucker in private. And then you can spill it out into the forefront. But see, all these people, there's another example. I want to show you another example of it. Watch this. And go to my bookmarks. Here it is. So this guy right here, wearing a cross, saying he's a Christian. I want you to listen to what he says. And this is the problem with Christianity in America. We don't understand the rules of the kingdom. So he's saying, if you're a Christian and you voted for Donald Trump, shame on you. You're not allowed to come to my shows. I don't want you there. If you voted for Donald Trump, you don't come to my shows ever, not just these 4 years. If you profess to be a Christian, Donald Trump is your brother in the faith. So what do you respond to? What are you called to do for your brother in the faith if you don't believe in him? You're supposed to pray for him. But see, this is the craziness that we got going on. This is what the media has done to the ecclesia. Quite frankly, because the ecclesia don't understand the rules. You can't have, if you're a Democrat, leftist, and you marching out in the street, and you go to church on Sunday, you shouldn't be marching out in the street going crazy over your brother in the faith. You didn't do it over a Muslim that was in office when Barack Hussein Obama was in office. It's crazy. But this is the lesson that America's getting ready to learn, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up, Ronnie from Red Jumpsuit here, just doing like a quick little PSA. I thought I was pretty clear about all this stuff in 2020, and as you notice on my Instagram wall, I did not remove any of that stuff from the Stay Woke campaign, I guess you guys are calling it, from 2020. Look, man, the thing about being woke is you're awake, and once you're awake, you can never go to sleep. And not only has nothing changed, but everything they said was going to happen, the woke people, has happened. You have done nothing but prove them right. So here it is again, in case somehow you missed it. Hi, I'm Ronnie Winter. I sing for the Red Jumpsuit Apparatus, and I actually follow what Jesus says. If you're a Christian and you're watching this and you voted for Donald Trump, shame on you. You are not allowed to come to my shows. I don't want you there. Don't come to my shows. It's awesome that you love Face Down. It's not for you. It's not your song. Okay? It is not your song. If you voted for Donald Trump, do not come to my shows, or ever, not just like these 4 years. Don't come to my shows, because you're going to hear a lot of woke propaganda, and you're going to hear like the actual words of Jesus. You're going to see a lot of acceptance from all areas of life and races. And you're just going to see a lot of like harmony. Okay? That's not what you're about. Okay? Don't come. Refunds are available. Forever don't come. Goodbye.
The most anti-Christ thing you can hear a person say. Did you hear it? The most anti-Christ thing you could ever hear a person say. What is the what is this crazy? There's more than one Jesus. This Jesus that he talking about ain't the same Jesus. I'm sorry, this ain't the same Jesus. It ain't the same Jesus. Well, DW, Jesus says, love thy neighbor. He sure did. He sure did. But there's 4 different types of love in the Bible. There's different types of love. There's different types of love that God shows you. The greatest love that you can have for someone is lay down your life for them. Another type of love is telling them the truth. But no, don't come to my show if you consider yourself a Christian. Bro, I don't even know who the dude is. But the point I want you to make is, see, everything is about dividing the body. Now, wokeism is Satanism. Let's just keep it real. Under the banner of wokeism is transgenderism. It's all this other crazy stuff. Changing kids over. That's Satanism. That's satanic. So what Jesus is he talking about? What Jesus is he talking about? My Jesus said it's better for a man to tie a millstone and cast himself in the sea than to leave one of these little ones astray. That's his very same word. That's his exact verbatim words. What would Jesus do if he was sitting there and there was a whole bunch of people that were saying, yeah, we're going to take these kids and we're going to make them boys and make boys girls. He can be like, well, somebody, where's the millstones? Ladies and gentlemen, where's the millstones? But you forgot about those things that he said. It's crazy. Wokeism is Satanism. It is what it is. But it's all about dividing the body. It's all about giving you another Jesus. It's all about giving you another option. And it's going crazy. So J.D. Vance is your brother in the faith. Unfortunately, if that man was baptized and brought into the church, even though he's running down the wrong path chasing another Jesus, that's my brother in the faith too. So if I ever met him, I would sit him down. I would say, hey, bro, explain to me your philosophy on who Jesus is. And I would listen to him with all the patience and love in the world. And then I would say, hey, I love you enough to tell you this. Boom, 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 boom. And he can go crazy. Blah, blah, blah. La, 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 la. He can go crazy. He can be as crazy as he wants. I said, okay. But you should know you're going to burn in hell. After I told him the truth, you're going to burn in hell. Then after that, I did what I needed to do. I did my job. But what he just said was Antichrist. But he's masquerading it like it's Jesus Christ. It ain't got nothing to do with Donald Trump. This got to do with, I believe in wokeism. There's going to be acceptism. There was one of these damn YouTubers that I was watching, and they said that borders were anti-biblical. Their borders were anti-biblical. And I'm saying, you've never read your Bible. Borders were established when God himself at the Tower of Babel said, oh, look at all these people talking the same tongue, trying to build a tower to get up to me. All right, we're going to scatter their language and send them abroad. That's when nations were created, when the tongues were separated. Then, if you look throughout the book of Kings, there was kingdoms and walls and borders. At any time, there were times when the nation of Israel was sieged round about, where they were starving and they were eating their children. Of course, the reason why that happened is because their kings, their leaders, were going after false idols, doing wicked things, and they found themselves being sieged round about, and they dishonored the Lord, and he let them get mollywop, which is what happens to us when we dishonor the Lord. But the point I'm making is borders is all throughout the Bible. That's why they say they went into the land of Canaan. They went to the land of Nod. They went to the land of the Assyrians, of the Philistines. What? You see how crazy and anti-Bible each and every one of these arguments are? Oh, my Lord. Let's go on to the next thing. Now, this brother right here is going to lay out the truth. This brother right here is going to tell you the truth of what's going on. But he's just observing the truth from what he's doing. And listen to what he says, because this is the truth of the matter. This is the association. And once you understand this association with Donald Trump, then you'll understand what you're fighting against. Which, forgive me, I'm not being condescending. I know you understand what we're fighting against, but I'm using this as a term that I don't know any other way to say it. You'll have an understanding, but I don't mean to be condescending, like to say you don't understand. So I'm sorry if it's coming across that way. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this makes it clear. How about that? That's much better. It makes it extremely clear. Listen to this brother.
So I shared this on Twitter a while ago, showing that somebody said they give us $20,000 for disassociating ourselves with MAGA and Donald Trump. All our content does is teach our students how to work on cars, work on houses. We teach them faith, how to pray, teach them about God. We teach them many different things, from etiquette, etc. And the first thing somebody said was, well, we'll give you $20,000 as long as you disassociate yourself from MAGA and Donald Trump. But why is it that when I'm teaching faith, hard work, discipline, how to not be a victim, etc., you automatically assume that's got to be Donald Trump and MAGA? But what's wrong with what we're teaching? There's nothing wrong with what we're teaching. And if you like what we're teaching, why automatically assume it's got to be MAGA and Donald Trump? That says a lot more about you than it does about me. It says a lot about you. We're going to continue teaching faith. We're going to continue teaching God. And we're going to continue teaching country. And we're going to make greater men for this country. Thank you so much. So I shared this on Twitter a while ago.
Get it? You see it? Do you see it, ladies and gentlemen? Faith, independence, God and country. These people oppose those things no matter what skin color it's in. No matter what skin color, no matter what variation, no matter what, a freaking Martian could come down to earth with a head like this, with a wine glass head, and be like beep beep boop bop 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 beep 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 boop bop bop bop, and look around and be like, your skin is darker than the other's skin? What are you teaching? Beep beep boop bop bop. He'd be like, well, I'm teaching people about God. I'm teaching the people about how to be independent. This. Beep beep boop bop bop. Let me go see what the other person's teaching. And they'll go to the other side. Your skin is lighter than the other. What are you teaching? What can I learn from you? Beep beep boop bop bop bop. And the alien, they'd be like, well, I'll start with the fact that men can be women and women can be men. Beep beep boop bop bop bop. We have males and females on our planet. Beep beep boop bop bop. Females can't be males. Males can't be females. Beep beep boop bop bop. What else do you teach? Well, you got to understand that everyone should have the same thing. Yeah, you working for your livelihood, and what you make, you should give it to me. Beep beep boop bop bop. Do not calculate. What are you talking about? Beep beep boop bop bop. On my land, I work. My planet, I've worked for millions of years to build for my beep beep boop bop bop to give to you. No. And he'll come back over. Will you teach me, beep beep boop bop bop, what you are doing, dark skinned one? Boop boop boop. And then he'll start learning. And I hear from Mars, and them people gonna say he racist. And they're gonna say he MAGA. Yeah. This is insane, man. It's insanity. We are living in the most insane times there is, ladies and gentlemen, where right is wrong and wrong is right. Where upside down world is what's trying to take over. It's like some kind of damn Avengers movie. You know how the Avengers, they'll have different timelines? It's like there's another retarded ass timeline trying to merge with our timeline. That's what the hell is going on. Pardon my language. I'm sorry, but the word ass is in the Bible. Like there's another retarded ass timeline trying to merge with ours. Where's Deadpool and Wolverine when you need them? Yeah, we need Deadpool and Wolverine right now to go down and grab the wires and hold on to each other and sing, and their bodies go to save everybody. Because this timeline merger that's trying to happen is full retarded. Tropical thunder, full retarded. Farting in bathtubs, full retarded. When you see it for what it is. And what is it? It's everything that's antichrist rising from every corner of the world. That's what it is. It's an antichrist spirit jumping around. In any manifestation, as many manifestations as you want to see it, just boop, 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 jumping in everybody, doing all kind of stuff. Hold on. And here's the cutie pie, Anna Paula Luna. She's about to explain some things to you. She's going to explain some things to you when it comes to the political realm of what's going on. And this is why, from a political realm, the biggest problem we got is the anti-Semitism thing, and anti-Semitic. Watch this. Go ahead, beautiful. Explain it to him, because that girl real pretty now. She real pretty. I got to give it to her. She real pretty.
I just got this sent to me. I'll read it. This actually was just posted in regards to Eric Cortellessa, who's a Time magazine reporter. He said, during my latest interview with President Trump, he made clear to Netanyahu the consequences if he capitulates to extremists in his coalition and moves to annex the West Bank. Israel would lose all of its support from the United States if that happened. So President Trump, a lot of people have tried to say that he's controlled, and he is not. And when people do that, that is such a cop-out response because...
I'm sorry, beautiful. Got to cut you off. Did she say that there's extremists in his coalition? Did she just lay out why we, like people like Tucker Carlson and myself, will be considered extremists because there's extremists in his coalition? Did she just say that? That Netanyahu has extremists in his coalition. Oh, I thought everybody over there was perfect. I thought everybody over there walked on clouds and made your milkshakes when you showed up. You trying to tell me there's some extremists over there? Are you starting to see are you seeing the dual narratives? Are you seeing the battle yet? Are you seeing it? There's some extremists over there that want to take over the West Bank. You know they got Christians in the West Bank that left America to buy property in the West Bank, right? That's because you fell for the lie that you need to go over there. You need to stay behind here and build here. But that's okay. You did it. You learned the hard way. You're trying to find out the hard way. The Bible tells us, pray for the peace of Jerusalem. That's what it says. That's what it says. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. That's about all it says to you as a Christian. That's about it. Go read it for yourself. That's about all it says. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. That's about it. That's what God told us to do. The rest of that between them and him. Like it was back in them days. Them and him. You see what I'm saying? But no, I'm going to run over there. No, you sit your behind at home and buy some of these companies as a Christian. These major companies like TikTok and all the rest of this, put our money together so we don't be censored. Because now we've let somebody else buy a part of TikTok and they're like, yeah, we're going to have to censor the Christians on TikTok. Oh, really? Oh, really? Oh, really? Stop being fooled and played, man. And you ain't got to hate nobody. You just got to have some damn common sense. Now, somebody will say, well, what you saying, James, is hateful. No, the hell it ain't. I got a whole boatload of common sense. I got multiple wine glasses of common sense. You know what I'm saying? I swirl my common sense around like this and I drink it. Then I swirl it again because I don't want it to get too warm so I don't grab it down here. I swirl it like this and then I drink it. It's really that simple. But hold on. Now, I pointed this out with Steve Bannon before. Alex caught on to it 20 hours ago. That's my man. But remember, when this first came out, I told y'all. This was days ago. I said, look at this. 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 And I said, nope. That's what has to happen everywhere. I said, you need to plant Christian nations with Christian leaders, with armies, with guns and weapons all over the world, and the world will prosper. And I've told you over and over and over and over again, the prosperity is with you. That's why everybody jumps on your back as America. Give me this, give me this. This is why they come to the border. Give me my free welfare. Give me my free housing. Give me my damn Medicare, my Medicaid. Everybody grabbing. You wanna know why? Because they know that you prosper because of Jesus. And if you, well, DW, my life is not prospering, then you need to go have a conversation with Jesus, homie, because you're supposed to be prospering. Well, man, I don't believe in that because the prosperity preachers say that, all they want is money. Dummy, I ain't talking about the preacher. You can go talk to Jesus yourself. That's the whole purpose of you going him making a lot, giving you his righteousness to go talk to God. Go talk to them. Go talk to the Godhead. Go have a conversation for once in your life. Don't be prideful. Don't be hurt. Yeah, you screwed up. Do like I did. I was like, yo, listen, I ain't gonna lie to you, big man. I'm an idiot. I'm a damn fool. I'm a dummy. I'm an idiot, and I don't know what to do. Just go tell him you don't know what the hell you're doing. That's what he's been waiting on, for you to come to the realization that you don't know what the hell, that you don't know better than him. When you come to that realization that you don't know better, then somebody can teach you something. So that should take care of those who be like, man, God don't want us to prosper. No, your ass is dumb. Go tell him you dumb. I do it every day. Lord, I'm a retard. I'm sorry. You gotta make stuff real plain for me. Talk to me like I'm your retarded kid that just don't get it. Then he make it real simple. Telling you, try it. Lord, I don't understand. It's a posture that you take. I don't understand. You take that posture because you know he knows more than you. He's higher than you. He has all the knowledge. What can you bring to the table? So what you do is say, hey, I come to the table with an empty mind and an empty heart given unto you, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Sorry. I know you want me to know what I'm doing because you love me, but I don't get it. What am I missing? I don't get it. And then he'll explain it to you. Watch this. Here's Steve back.
The Israel First crowd and the evangelicals that back the Israel First crowd, you guys brought this on. Oh, Bannon's so hard. He's so tough. He's so mean. Well, I'm just giving you the facts the way they is. This greater Israel project of Netanyahu blew up
Can we
in
get to
his
the
face
three-state solution, please?
by the president of these United States. And now you got what you got. Now you have to go to a 3-state solution, and one of those states has to be, wait for it, the Christian state of Jerusalem.
That's so deep, I'm not even going to go into that. We're going to leave that right there alone. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. We're going to leave that alone. But watch this. It's the model. That's why when the globalists took over America, the first thing they took over was the colleges and universities. Why did they take over the colleges and the universities? They took over the colleges and universities and the theological schools. Why did they do that? Because you needed to change what America was exporting. The colleges and universities in America would export Christianity. That exportation of Christianity was our greatest product. When we exported Christianity, we exported that blessing by planting cities and planting nations that were Christian nations. Well, DW, the Christians is the Christian nations, the ones that took us as slaves. We the black mans, and I was a slave. I said this the last time. How about you start off with them Negroes that sold you into slavery when it started? How about you go get some from them first? Let's start there. If you want to work around, let's go get them. Go and deal with them. Because they're the ones that sold you. It was the whole industry. Ran you down in the jungle. Ran you down. Tied you up. Took you over to the white man. Or the Spaniards or whatever the hell it was. The Portuguese. They threw you on the ship. You don't never hear you talking about you want to go get them. No, let me get the white man today. Gotta get that white man. The exportation of Christianity is where we headed again. That's why Donald Trump and J.D. Vance got to deal with the theological schools that have been bought out, and they need to deal with the universities and colleges, which have been bought out. And then our greatest export would be the gospel of the kingdom of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And then the prosperity will explode, and then we'll go to space, and we'll go to Mars, and we'll do all these different things. But right now, what's happening is the globalists have perched on top of us, stolen that blessing, turned us into slaves, ran us through a matrix, basically, and said, yeah, we're going to leave you here, and we're going to go to Mars, then we're going to blow this up. What the globalists don't understand is you can take everything. Your wicked behind kill every Christian in this world. and take everything you got and go to Mars, and it's going to be hell because you there and because we not there. And that's what they don't get. It's going to be hell because you there and we not there. And that's what it boils down to. That's why when you go to all these other nations, you see all these things. Like right now, they got the Indian poop festival. They run around splashing their face with poop. Who the hell do that? Where they do that at? Anywhere you find Christians not being, there is a representation of hell there. And that's the truth, dog. Now, Steve Bannon goes on to talk about the 3-state solution with Christians in the Middle East. But if you're going to put 3-state solution there with Christians in the Middle East, then they need to be armed and ready, very, very dangerous, to deal with the others around there. But what will end up happening is conversions will start to happen all throughout the Middle East. It's just that simple, man. This is not hard. But it's just, I'm telling you, every time I sit down, because I was out there working. By the way, if you signed up for the men's Bible study group, email is going out tomorrow. The email is going to lead you to an application. If you haven't signed up at strongmenpraying.com, lead to application. You take a little quiz so we know who you is, what you believe, bada bing, bada boom. Then you go into your birth, you'll get your first Bible study lesson when you go ahead and attend. And then from there, I don't know how I scratch myself like that. And then from there, you'll go into our intercessory prayer, hang out with us there for a little while. Then you go into the rest of the hardcore lessons. But you need to have the ability to pray if you're going to be a part of a group called Strong Men Praying. So the way we see it is this. If you're going to pray, you're going to pray. We ain't going to throw you in the deep end of the pool. You can go, I want to swim in the shallow end. Hell no. Come on, get in the 12-foot into the pool. Splash. Jump in the water. Jump in the water and swim. And as you're swimming, you'll figure it out. You'll be like, I'm drowning. No, you ain't. Breathe. Kick your legs. Kick your legs, damn it. Move your arms. I'm sinking like a rock. Somebody will dive down there and pull you up. And then let you go. I'm drowning. You better learn how to swim. You better learn how to swim. All right, I'll see you guys on the next video. Something's wrong with your boy. But keep an eye on this. This is getting ready to invade the whole news. And I'm going to tell you this. The takedown of Tucker Carlson not going to work. It's not. Because you already got Mike Lindell, Christian. Alex Jones, Christian. You're going for the third biggest one, Tucker Carlson. At some point in time, JD or Donald going to have to do something. You keep targeting them, they're going to have to do something. It is what it is. So you got Charlie Kirk, bled out in front of everybody. Mike Lindell sued to death. Alex Jones sued to death. Now you're going for Tucker Carlson. You're taking out 4 generals. Steve Bannon was the first one. They threw him in prison. So then before Steve Bannon, it was Michael Flynn. Are you noticing the theme that all these people are Christians? Whether regardless if you like them or not. General Flynn, Christian family. Steve Bannon, Christian family. The only one that they targeted that wasn't a Christian, a hardcore Christian, was Roger Stone. And then he became a sold-out hardcore Christian. My friends Joe and Jim Hoff, Christians targeted. Bing, bing, bing. Man, if y'all knew. If only you knew. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see y'all on the next video. I'm out of here. Hold on one second. We're about to get to the bottom of this, ladies and gentlemen. This don't make no sense whatsoever. Welcome to the Dark Waters channel.